Okay, so this is TinkerCAD. I just logged in with my email. For you guys, you can set up a classroom. You'll have your email and then you'll set up all of your students' accounts. So you'll always have access to getting into their file. And as you tinker around in here, you'll find that. So the important things, so you can go to create new design. My mouse over here. Okay. And this is the work plane. I need to move where you guys are. There we go. Let's move it to the top. Okay. So you have your work plane here. Most important thing is changing the name. So when you go to TinkerCAD, it'll put some weird words up here as the name of the project. And I always tell my students right away, change the name, change it to what project we're doing, and then change it to what color you want printed. And what that does is when you save their file and bring it into the slicing software and then load it into your printer, that name will carry all the way across. So when you go to the printer, it's like, okay, whose is it? What project is this? And what color does it need to be printed? So we have our work plane. If you go to edit grid, right now it's in millimeters. Depending on the project, I'll either have the kids work in millimeters or inches. I'll use inches for right now. And then you can change that width and length. So like I said, for the keychain, I would do this, I do 2 by 2. But you can set some constraints for the students doing that. So I'm just gonna do 6 by 6 for now. Let me show you a couple different things. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I can see my work plane change, and then the snap grid is, if I bring it apart here, you can see it's kind of snapping over every 1/8 of an inch right now. And so I like to change that to 1/64 so that it just smoothly moves now. Or again, depending on the project, you might want it to snap at every, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, or whatever you need for the project. So brought in my shape, and it's as easy as just dragging these corners, and this is moving it up and down. You can set exact dimensions by clicking on the corner, and I can say I want this to be 2 by 2. Okay, and then same thing with the height. Just make it a cube there. And then I could bring in the roof. I'm just gonna make a little house real quick. So again, I'm gonna estimate my size here, kind of make it taller. And then if I bring the roof over, we'll see it's still sitting on the work plane. You can bring it up by this little black arrow that's on top. And again, I know that my cube is 2 inches tall, so I'm gonna raise it 2 inches. And now I can bring it over the top. Text is a great one, of course. You can bring that in. Change what it says here. Put a little smiley face in there. Anything you drop in, you can change the color as well. And so I can change the color in TinkerCAD just by clicking on solid and dropping that in. But the important thing is when you export this file out, and when you go through the lessons, you'll learn some of this too, but when you export this file, the color does not go with it. So kids think that I've created this multicolor part, I'm gonna slice it and put it on the printer. The printer is gonna print whatever color material you put on the printer. It does not carry the color that you drop into TinkerCAD here. That's really important to get that across to your students, because I've had to break a kid's heart that created this awesome multicolor part, and it's like, oh, we're only gonna print it in a single color. So, but if they're gonna paint or do any post-processing, then maybe they could see what it would look like here. Another great tool is this Scribble Tool. So I can bring that into my work plane and a new work plane comes up, and then I can actually draw anything that I want. This is fun to use too. And then when I click done in the corner here, it's gonna bring my smiley face into my work plane. If you ever get zoomed in or flipped upside down or just kind of in a weird spot, you can always hit this home button and it'll bring you back to that home view. Let's see what else is quick here. There's alignment tools, and as you go through the lessons, you'll learn this stuff too, but I can click on 2 different shapes. I'm holding shift, or I can just click and drag and select these 2. And then I can use this alignment tool. And so this one here is aligning them center. I can line it center back and forth. And so those are great tools to use as well. And then anytime that I'm going to print something for a student, I always want to double check their file and make sure that everything is touching. So right now, if I print this, it's going to print my name, but they're going to be printed all as separate pieces. Same thing with the smiley face. I'm going to have a ring. I'm going to have 2 dots and a smile. And then for the house, I want to make sure if I look at it straight on, that the roof is actually connected to the main part of the house. Sometimes I'll get parts that look like this, and it looks like it's on there. But when I rotate around, I see it's actually hovering, and it's going to print it hovering like that too. And again, we can't print anything in space, so the whole roof is just going to be like a droop mess by the time it gets there. And if that happens, it's totally okay. That's a great learning point for kids when that does happen. And I never call a print a failed print. Or if I do, I have like a showcase of failed prints, and we can talk about like, why did this fail? And it's sitting up on the shelf, and some of your failed prints are going to look really cool. Yeah, so this is a hole tool. So I'm going to bring in the cylinder here. I can kind of drag it to size, put it through my house. You want to join these together to create it to actually be a hole. So I'm going to select all three of these, and then I can click, I think it's this one here, join. There we go. Now I can see that hole is all the way through the roof. Yeah, I think that's a quick overview. When I show kids how to use TinkerCAD, I usually just show them that much. And then I say, run with it, go. And it's like an app. Like I can use touch screens, and I can like drag and drop stuff in. So you can use a tablet if you want. That's really easy for kids. And if they find anything really cool in here that they want to share with their class, I'll have them like share with everybody else. And I'll be honest, and I'll say, I don't use TinkerCAD. I use SolidWorks when I design. So if you find anything cool, feel free to share it with me. They're going to get in here and see we're in basic shapes. All of a sudden, they're going to find, vehicles and machines. They're going to find a skeleton to build a dinosaur. But if they find those things, feel free to have them share out with their classmates. It's a lot easier to print anything with simple basic shapes. So usually when it goes to printing time, I'll try to have them stick there. Or as you learn your printers more, you can get into more like advanced shapes. But if they're going to design, like say we just have free time, and I'll say like design a train or something, and I'll just throw out something, they can use whatever shapes they want if it's something that's not going to be printed. So this is great for free time. It's a rainy day, we're stuck inside. All right, try to design, it's so-and-so's birthday, let's design a birthday cake for them. And then every kid designs a different birthday cake for whatever that means. Or yeah, I think that's a good start on TinkerCAD. Like I said, there's a ton of resources in here. And then from here, you would just hit export, save it, drop it into your slicing software, and that's where you'd use Kira.